Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm like super excited because I've been wanting to do this channel for a hot second now. Finally, I have gained the confidence. God's will. This will go smoothly. Right, the name of my YouTube channel is called Let's Talk Bible. And really and truly what that is just a forum to discuss, debate, to educate, also to have fellowship, to have devotion about the Bible and everyday life. I hope to have guests, I hope to play games, and I hope that it empowers at the same time a lot of young people like myself. Now today what I want to do is I just want to, actually first of all I should make a disclaimer. I don't do editing, so if I do, go off track or mess up, yeah, vibe with me, okay? So basically today what I want to discuss with you, it's not an exhortation as such, and it's definitely not a sermon. It's just something that God laid on my heart. About 2 weeks ago I went to convention, and the theme of convention was God's word, the priority. And when I left convention I really felt convicted or led to just obviously meditate on what I had learned over the weekend. And in my time of reflection I had to ask myself, how have I made God's word a priority in my life? What have I done to ensure that God's word is uttermost top in my life? And then as I think about God's word, I think about God's law. And I reflect on God's law and reflect at the same time on man's law. And then I found myself questioning, have I made or do I make man's law a priority in my life? And as I thought about that, I said, I certainly make man's law a priority in my life, but I can't say the same for God's word, God's law. And I can't say the same for God's law consistently. I compromise at times. And as I began to reflect on man's law, I'll give you an example. Take my car, for instance. I make sure it's my priority to insure my car. It's my priority to ensure my car is taxed. It's my priority to ensure my car has MOT. Why do I do it? Because there's a legal obligation upon me as a UK driver to ensure that is done. But if I don't do that, then obviously there's going to be implications and there's going to be repercussions on me that are going to be unpleasant. So I make sure that I meet the standard that has been set by me, that's been set by man for me, in order to ensure that I'm safe on the road and other road users are safe as well. However, with me complying or abiding to this law, making it my priority, it doesn't ensure that when I get in my car and I drive down the road that I'm not going to meet an accident. Nor does it ensure that when I park my car on my front drive that somebody's not going to come and steal it. Nor does it ensure that when I'm driving down the M6 that my car's not going to break down and I'm going to be all stranded and abandoned. It doesn't give me the guarantee of those things, but yet still I make it my priority to abide and comply with this law. And I found myself thinking, why? Really and truly, why? Why is it such a priority to follow the law of man, but it's not that much of a priority to follow the law of God? And as I thought about it, I was like, is it because of my freedom? Does my freedom mean that much to me? And when I say freedom, I mean my earthly freedom. Does it mean that much to me that I would never dare to even risk breaking the law? Is it my credibility? Is it my integrity, everything I am, everything I stand for? Is it my identity, the way I see myself, the way others see me? Or is it simply to do with risk? Is it that the risk is not worth it? It's not worth risking all of those things that I've just named in order to gain some temporary pleasure. It's not worth it. But one thing I can say to you is that when I reflect and I think about the law of man, I think to myself, if I'm ever faced with a situation in life, in law, you can rest assured I'm going to make sure I know the protocols that are going to get me through it. Like, I'll give you another example. If I get a parking ticket on my car, best believe after I've had my rant for 5 minutes about why I shouldn't have got it, I'm going to go online and I'm going to research and find every reason that I possibly can find to state why that parking ticket is void. even though I parked in that bay and I didn't display during hours, I'm going to find a reason why I shouldn't have to pay for that parking ticket. And I will make sure I make it my priority to know the law of man to get me through that situation. I hope you're following me, okay? So the fact that I'm making it my priority to get me through that situation, I'm finding time to study, to learn, to engage myself in that law, to make sure that I stand the best chance possible to go through the appeal process. Furthermore, I even know where to go and find that information in order to empower me. I begin to think to myself, what happens when I don't prioritize God's law? And why is it important to prioritize God's law? I'm just going to quote for you, like, real quickly. Hold on. Ephesians 6, verse 11 and 12. Put on the full armour of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against rulers, against authorities, against powers of this dark world, and against spiritual forces and evil in the heavenly realms. Now, Ephesians 6 is telling me from the get-go, it's straight up telling me that trials are going to come. It's guaranteed. The devil is on a clockwork shift. He's working overtime. He's looking for ways that he can come at me, he can come at you. He don't sleep. He waits and he watches. And he waits for you to be, I always say, when you're most comfortable, when you think everything's going wrong, that's when you need to be afraid. He waits and looks for your weak spots. If he can't get to you, he will use somebody next to you thinking, oh, how can I use such and such to get to Nicole? What can I do to get to Nicole? What's Nicole's weakest spots? How am I going to get to Nicole? He's not going to do the obvious blatant thing, right? He's going to come sly. John 10:10. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That's his objective. And until when he completes that, that's what he's here for. He's here to kill, steal, and destroy. So he's going to keep doing that until when he achieves his target. So I really thought to myself, I was like, when I come up against certain situations in life, what am I doing to ensure that the enemy does not have the victory of stealing from me, killing me, and destroying me? Now I'm speaking spiritual, because Ephesians 6 is telling us that we're wrestling with higher principalities, higher forces than what we see on earth. So there's certain laws that you abide to on earth that cannot guarantee your safety or your protection, that you need to have the law of God. God's law needs to be your priority, because really and truly, that's what's going to get you through certain situations in life. No matter how good a lawyer you have, or how favourable a judge you have, or how favourable a jury you have, certain things are going to require you, not even certain things, everything in essence is going to require you to have God's word as your priority, so that you can withstand when the enemy comes and attacks you. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should disregard man's law. Wisdom teaches us, educate yourself, right? But what I am saying is that you should not become complacent and think that it's enough to just know the law of man. You need to know the law of God as well, because it's the law of God that's going to help you to fight those battles that you didn't even anticipate were coming. When I parked inside of that bay, I knew there was a chance that I was going to get a ticket. I was willing to take the risk. Do you understand what I'm saying? But when I get in my car, I don't know what the chances are. And maybe I subconsciously know there's a chance that I could meet an accident. But God's foreseen it, and that's why it's so important to have God's word as a priority in your life. Should the evil or the enemy come up against you and attack you, you know that you can withstand anything that's thrown at you. So you know that when you're feeling lost and you're scared and you're worried, you know that you've got the Lord as your light and your salvation. Whom shall you fear? You need to know your rights that you inherit as a child of God, so that when the enemy tries to come and attack at you, you can tell him, as a child of God, it is my right that God is a present help. He's a help in need. And you need to know, as a child of God, that you can say to him, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? You need to know that as a child of God, it's your right, that the Lord will never leave you nor forsake you. You need to know as a child of God where you stand, so that when that enemy comes and he attacks at you and the law of man is not doing you justice, yeah, you can say, I'm a child of God. God has already met my need. He's already seen my need, and he's dealt with it before. Now what you need to do is trust him. And I'm going to wrap it up there. I really hope that, because I'm going into a preaching now, I really hope that obviously that empowers somebody. It helps somebody to obviously just look at their life and where they're at. I don't know, what do they usually do at the end of these videos? Like, comment, subscribe. I'm not looking for likes, to be honest. As long as my message can reach someone, that's all I care for. But definitely would like comments. Obviously, I would like to know what I could do. I deliberately kept it descriptured because I didn't want to overwhelm. As my mum would say, it's baby food, and baby food is digestible for everybody. So I really hope that this does bless someone and that you're empowered. And yeah, share this video, guys. Okay, peace out, peace out, peace out. I've always wanted to do this, yeah? Look, watch.